So we have 10 days left in August. Super exciting. The summer like flew by. It's so crazy. But I know that, a lot of things are changing, and that's why I wanted to do tonight's team call. And know that y'all are in cup. Don't freaking give up. That's the biggest thing I can tell you. And I know Jess is going to go live to share about how she's helping a lot of people this month. But seriously, don't give up, because right now is when the work's going to pay off down the line. Hey, Liz. So keep hustling, keep chugging along. I hung out with Liz a good bit this weekend, and we were talking about how it's like you're putting in all this work and seeing nothing in return. I promise you it will pay off. So just keep going, keep moving and grooving. Did anyone have any recognition they wanted to share before I get started? Anybody? Don't all shout at once. Well, I'm gonna share some recognition really quickly because we've changed 24 lives this month, which is so bomb. So shout out to Jess for being at Success Club 5. Super proud of you, girl, first month. I know you're gonna rock Success Starters and earn your free ticket to Summit next year. Super exciting. And I know a bunch of you are on the board and working really hard behind the scenes. So don't get discouraged. Shout out to Jess. I know she's not on here, but she's getting back on the board. That was a happy surprise when I did the recognition. And keep chugging, guys. Be the reason somebody smiles today. That's literally all I want you to focus on these next 10 days is just be somebody's reason to smile, okay? And the other thing is, I don't know if you guys saw this recognition board I put up in the team page this weekend, but I thought it was pretty cool how many emeralds we have, because that is the foundation of what we do. Like, you guys already have mastered what you need to do to get to the next level, because it's just hitting emerald and helping 2 people over and over and over again. So pat yourselves on the back. I know Liz and Steph and Jess are all up here, and Bree's not far behind. So good job, guys. And now let's push for that shiny diamond, all right? I want everybody getting that Q4 bonus, all right? $250 for Christmas. Sound good? All right, guys.
What about Q3 bonus?
Q3 bonus is still up for Thursday. You can still hit diamond by Thursday. It is totally possible if you believe it right here. Thank you, Liz, for calling me out. But literally so many of you are like this inches close, Liz included. So, and I know with the way Jess is running, she's going to be diamond soon too. So keep your game face on and keep hustling. Your mind is the only thing that holds you back. A few other announcements. I'm going to be putting up an event on Facebook that's going to be what is an accountability group, basically. And we're going to take all the common objections we get, like, why do I need a shake? Or how much time does this take? Or do I need to post publicly? And I'm going to ask you guys the same way we went live for the coach event this past week. We're going to do that for the what is an accountability group event. It's going to be tailgate themed. So it's not going to say what is an accountability group. It's going to be all about pregame party. So fun stuff, giveaways, energy. So I'm going to post a schedule in the team page for you guys to sign up with. Liz is going to help me run our next accountability group, and I'm going to kind of announce that to you at a later date. But what I wanted you to keep in mind is we're doing a 3-day refresh the Tuesday after Labor Day. Okay, so September 5th, I believe that is. So you need to start talking about it now and inviting all of your challengers to do it. Number 1, it's more commissions for you. Number 2, it's keeping them active status. So if they skip their Shakeology next month, they still earn enough volume to keep them active in your downline as you progress to emeralds and diamond ranks. And it builds more team volume as we push for elite towards the end of the year. So we want to get as many people as possible, current challengers and new people, committed to 3-day refresh. And if you're talking to people that are signing up with challenge packs at the end of the month, throw in the 3-day refresh as a kickstart challenge pack so they have all the tools to rock it. Okay? That's actually a $70 commission challenge pack, which is a nice little extra. And I am really bad, but I am going to be adding to the all access link the option what the kickstart includes. Yes, and people seeing amazing results. So that should be pretty good. I want you guys to invite as many people to the event as possible because that's how you're going to get people. You know, those lurkers, those people you know want to do this but ignore your messages, just go share and invite the event. Like, you don't need to actually send them a message. I mean, you can, but just put them on the event and invite them. Let them see what it's about. Okay, the last thing is Super Saturday is coming up really fast. Who is going or who knows nothing about it? Okay, Steph and Jess, I know you haven't been, I think it's Bree's first Super Saturday too. But Super Saturday is a quarterly event Beachbody does, so I will post the link again in the team page under the week's post. You can go in and type in your zip code and see your closest Super Saturday. For both of you, it's probably Philly, so you guys could go together. It might be Steph's wedding, so she probably can't go. But highly recommend getting there, Jess. Like, you can take your hubby. Normally you can take the little one, so it's not like you can get a babysitter. And you usually do a free workout. Sometimes they have guest speakers, and it's just a way for you to realize that this is so much more than behind a computer screen. And you can bring your challengers too. Like, ask Fran to go with you and let her experience it, because that's how it gets them to see, wow, this coaching is really awesome and I want to do it too. Okay, so I'll post it up and you can check it out. Tickets are like 10, 15 bucks, and it's just a great way for you to be more connected with the community. Cool? Awesome. It's September 23rd is the last weekend or second to last weekend in September. All right, guys, I hope you have your notebooks out, because I have like lots of stuff to share. I don't know if anybody's realized, but over the past couple of months, social media has been changing, and there's things that we need to adapt and change with it. You know, it's just like life. It's just like your fitness. You can't keep doing the same thing and expect the same results. You have to forever be evolving and growing with what's happening. And we all know how social media is such a big part of our business. I mean, the National Wake Up Call today was on Instagram stories. That should be proof in itself that our company is saying there's a change happening and we need to get on board with it if we want to grow beyond where we are right now. Okay, so that's the whole point of this call. Some of this stuff maybe you've heard me say before, but I'm going to hopefully bring it in a new spirit, because there is a lot of new things going on that you might not have heard before. So definitely get your notebook out. And I'm going to kind of try and break it up Facebook-wise and then Instagram-wise, because I know some of you run both. Some of you are just primarily on one. But then I'm also going to give you tips for kind of both, okay? Can't say this is going to be a super organized call. And I want you to remember, you don't need to implement everything I say tonight. I want you to take 2 or 3 things and focus on one of them this week and master it. And then focus on one of them next week and master it, and so on and so forth. Because if you go and try to do everything, it just doesn't work, right? You get overloaded. You don't have that much time as it is. So I really want to give you the goods, let you have this call. It's always going to be recorded so you can come back to it and really find what's going to work for each of us, because something might work better for you than it works for Liz, and so on and so forth. So I want to start off with reminding everybody that Facebook and Instagram is a place to be social, right? It's a place to interact with people. It's a place to, I'm going to mute you. It's a place to interact with people and make friends and connect with people, right? So we have to remember, yes, this is a business for us. Yes, we're sharing to help people and inspire people and connect with people. But the most important thing is you have to be social if you expect people to be social with you. So that's kind of going to be the heart of what I'm going to be sharing tonight. You have to be giving value, and you have to be a resource for people. So we've looked at some of our posts before, but every week you should get in the habit of looking at your posts from the past week and saying, what worked, what didn't work, and how do I need to change it? And am I giving, or am I just asking for things, right? Like, are you putting invite posts up 10 times in a row? Or are you saying, oh my God, I found this awesome baby wipes this week. Like, has anybody used it? I'm just thinking because Jess has a baby out. Or like, I was trying to find a way to occupy my 7-year-old kids because they're just crazy boys and I don't know what to do with them. And then you kind of share that. Like, you have to be a resource of giving people tips and value and tricks in their life. If you just put up invites and transformation posts, and I'm guilty of this, People see you as a walking billboard, right? And none of us want to be that, right? So there's definitely some things that I want you guys to continue to remember to get back into the 5 buckets that you set out as a new coach of the 5 things that are unique about you. Do you hit them every week? Right? Do you show up as the 5 things about you consistently every week, or are you just sharing health and fitness? Because you were Brianna before you were a Beachbody, and you like to share different things than you do now. But you have to keep the essence and the spirit of those things now, even though you're a Beachbody coach, right? So I'll say for mine, sports, adventure, wellness, so that ties in nutrition and fitness and all that. Lily Plitzer, you guys know that about me, financial freedom, and a little bit of design. So 4 of those things have nothing to do with health or fitness. And I have to work hard to incorporate them because I love fitness. I would share it to the moon and back. But guess what? Our generation doesn't. And so if you keep sharing those same things, they don't give a shit. And you're going to repel people away from you that you actually want to attract. You have to create a reason to come back. And I like to ask myself every single day, so what? What is this post going to do for somebody? What is it going to help them do today, get better at, be inspired by? And if it's not intentional, there's no point in posting it, right? So you have to be really consistent with your intentionality and the meaning behind what you're doing, because this is a business and it's fun to post. But if you're not doing it with an intention behind it and sharing these 5 different buckets that you have to come up for yourself, then it's just kind of pointless. You're just like every other person on Facebook that's, sharing whatever. The reason I'm going to talk about Instagram tonight is because after the election, a lot of people got off of Facebook. And she said that on the National Wake Up Call today, because people started complaining, they started ranting, they started just, excuse my French, bitching about shit. And a lot of people got off Facebook. And that's why more of our generation is on Instagram than any other platform today. So it's really important for us to get ahead, and more network marketers are on Facebook. You guys know this, right? You see that it works. You see the Roden and Fields. It's like, oh my God, if I see another picture screenshotted from the same Roden and Fields consultant, I might pull my hair out. They're not doing what we're going to do on Instagram. And that's what I want you guys to set yourselves apart with, right? Okay, so let's get into the meat of the call. Let's start with Facebook. Facebook is social, right? We're talking about social. And people buy into emotion. So the reason that I tell you guys you need to share the heck out of your story every day, it's because that's what people buy. They don't buy a shaker cup. They don't buy your workout move. They don't buy your meal prep. They buy you. And that's why you need those 5 buckets of your story every damn day. And I'm just using myself as an example because I really intentionally do this every day. Today I shared about my great aunt with Alzheimer's who gave me a Virginia Tech ticket. Nothing to do with Beachbody. I shared about my financial freedom this weekend and paying off student loans. Nothing to do with Beachbody. But it still has a twist on curiosity. Because sometimes we like to give all the goods out, and as Steph says, she likes to be a whore. You can't give all the goods on the first date on your posts and in your messages. The whole point is to be social, to be a friend, to interact, and to create emotion with the things that you share. Does that mean you need to write 5 paragraphs on every post? Heck no. Be your funny, quirky self or whatever emotion you like to be. But you can't just post, got my workout done, check today. Nobody cares. So what, right? So I'm going to give you guys some things you may not know or you may know right off the bat. And I'm going to try and split it evenly with the time. So I'm checking the time. You have to be intentional with the times you post. And this is something that's going to be different with everybody on this call. So I can't tell you, hey, you need to post at 7 a.m. every day, or hey, you need to post at 9 p.m. every day. You need to test out the waters. So what I mean by that is I know for me, 9 o'clock, Monday and Sunday nights are prime times to post transformation photos, or to post, go live and speak to my audience, because that's when most of my people are scrolling their phone and they're bored and they're doing nothing else and they feel crappy after the weekend. And that's kind of a general rule of thumb our team has gone off of. 8, 9 o'clock on a Sunday, Monday night, prime invite post time. Times that don't do so well for me are like Saturday during the day, unless I'm doing something fun, which most likely I'm working. So that's not super fun sometimes. I have to get creative with it. So you have to test out in the week, okay, did this post do well at this time or did it do better at this time? And kind of trial and error that and recognize what works for you. Most likely in general, you want to post when people aren't at work, because we are all full-time workers. So 7 to 9 a.m., noon, 7 to 9 p.m. But you should not be posting more than 2 or 3 times a day. I don't think any of you do this, but Facebook actually punishes you kind of for overposting. So I would rather you guys have 1 or 2 intentional, like really awesome posts each day than feeling like you need to share 3 times a day. And that's something that I learned this week, because I was like, whoa, I was shooting to post 3 to 4 times a day. Facebook actually doesn't like that. They like solid quality posts rather than quantity of them. So I thought that was something interesting. Another thing is no links. No links from other sources onto Facebook. No Instagram shares. Like, when you go on Instagram and you can say share to Facebook, don't do it, because Instagram has a specific code that shares to your post, and Facebook is going to not show your post to as many people. It's part of the algorithm. Same thing with like a Pinterest recipe or a link you find on BuzzFeed or something. If you share that to your Facebook feed, it's going to benefit BuzzFeed or Huffington Post, not you. And really, you should only be sharing your unique content, your unique photos, videos, all that good jazz, because that's what Facebook wants. It wants you to be social with your stuff, not with other outside sources, because your page is named after you, not Huffington Post. So you got to be really intentional about not sharing other links. And if you have people tagging you on your page in like other stuff, like funny humor stuff, I would go into your settings and not allow people to do that, because your page is your place of business. And if it's filled with funny videos from all your best friends, people don't know they're invited to anything. They just see links from other friends and they don't know what you're talking about. So I know Steph went through and kind of did her settings so that people can't tag her, or like it's not visible on her timeline to other people when people tag her on things. It just looks cluttered and it doesn't favor your posts. So clean it on up. And if you've done anything, these things that I've shared, don't worry, you can get better. Yes, approving things is so good. Okay, Facebook Live. Let's get real with it. Who's gone Facebook Live? Raise your hand. Awesome. Jess, we're breaking you in this week. Here's why. Mark Zuckerberg favors Facebook Live, and they put a big freaking stake in it. And if you use it, they're going to hugely push your posts above other people's that are sharing. So guys, it's free marketing when you think about it. You don't have to buy a billboard. You don't have to rent a space to put up your stuff. You don't have to pay for an ad. It's free marketing and people get to see you. So what I like to do for my live videos is I like to start it with a question in the text. For instance, today I was actually sharing this with a new coach. Has anybody pressed the snooze button today? And then I'll say, today I'm going to share my top 3 tips on how I'm going to stop pressing snooze this week. Step 1, put your phone in a different room. Tune in to hear the other 2 or 3 steps. Okay, what I just did there is I asked a question that people want to know, right? Or that they can relate to. The second thing that I did is I told them what I was going to share, and I gave them a little sneak peek into what I was going to talk about. And the third thing is I created curiosity that they want to hear the other 2 steps, right? If you make the first one a really good one. But that is from Bob Heilig. I'll type his name in here. I absolutely love him. I'm like obsessed with him, and he trains coaches and network marketers on how to really build their following and build how they're reaching people. So going live, ask a question, because the more comments you get throughout your video, or even beyond when your video gets posted, the more Facebook pushes it up even more. So it's really important to commit to it, not once a week, 2 to 3 times a week. And even better, if you can go live with a friend, or like Q&A your husband, or like just something fun in your life, you can tag them in the text of the video before you go live. Like Liz and I did this last weekend, and I got way more viewership because we were both tagged in the post. So these are just little tips and tricks. Again, if you have a husband that lives with you, do it once a week. Ask them to go live with you and say you're meal prepping and share how you're doing that. Or, don't walk around with your phone and make people dizzy or want to barf when they're watching you, because that's just not really ideal, guys. Do it at a moment where you can actually speak and give value. Maybe share your personal development and the lessons you learn. Share how your kids are going through a hard time and how you're, ask for suggestions or opinions. That's a great way to kind of share your story. But the live is so, so key. Okay, another quick tip. Before you put up a post, take 5 or 10 minutes and go like and comment on some of the people that are on your list for the month, or that are just on your newsfeed. Because again, this is a social place. And if you go like and comment on people's posts 5 to 10 minutes before you post, your post is going to get higher viewership. Okay. Okay. Oh, something else I like to do, like in the middle of the day when things are a little bit quieter. I don't know if you guys have seen me asking a question with the color in the background. Hey. You can ask a question and then just click the colors, and that builds engagement as well. I have my phone. So like, if you just go to click status, want to share an update, Danielle, and then I'll type something, and you can click a color at the bottom and you can just ask a question. So easy. Like for Jess, I'm thinking of all the mom questions, right? Like, how do you get your kid to go to sleep with teething, or, stupid shit like that you don't even care about and you already know, but it's going to speak to your audience. And that's what's key, right? You need to be growing your network every day and speaking to 5 to 10 new people every day, because you guys probably have people on your friends list that you forgot about, right? You all have at least hundreds of friends. And if they're not liking and commenting and not interacting with your posts, you need to go interact with them so that they see more of your stuff. This takes time and an effort, but that's why I say work from a list and focus on the people you want to sign up each month so they are guaranteed to see your posts. Don't go and mass add people every day, like add friend requests. I would not do more than 10 a day. Facebook doesn't favor that. So you want to kind of watch how many people you're adding per day. And you guys should go through your friends list and unfriend anybody that's not interacting with your posts, or is not your niche, or is like your husband's best friend's cousin from college. They're not your niche. You're probably not going to help them. And if they're not interacting on your posts, they're actually bringing down your engagement and your viewership on Facebook. So it's better to have like 1,000 quality friends on Facebook than 3,000 with only 10 people interacting with your posts. Okay. Simple. You guys may know this, not know this. Make your profile picture you. Get dressed up. Get your makeup all done, get in good lighting this weekend, and have your spouse take a good quality picture of you, your face, your beautiful stuff. Share your family photos on your feed, but make your profile picture you, because people want to connect with you and then come to your page and be curious about what your family's like. Okay. Another quick tip is whenever iPhone does an update, Facebook is usually doing an update. So that's just kind of a good trigger in your mind to know, okay, something's changing here. So I need to watch and see how my posts are doing after I get an iPhone update. The 3 questions you want to ask yourself when you post something. How am I going to inspire somebody? Is this post solving a problem? Is it going to help somebody? And that's kind of a good like track for you to see, does this fit into my 5 buckets and isn't going to fit into one of these 3 questions? So how am I going to inspire someone? Is this post solving a problem? And is it going to help somebody? So those are 3 good things. The last thing with Facebook, well, I have a few more things. When we have scripts in our team, right? You guys know you have typical messages to work from. If you go copy paste the same invite to 50 people behind the scenes in a row, Facebook knows every stroke you take, every post you make, every like and comment you do. And if you copy paste the same thing 50 times in a row, they're going to slap you for doing it. And they're not going to show your post to as many people. This is something I just learned this week. So what I'm telling you guys is to individualize the scripts you send out and make them you. Even better, use voice memo and get people on text message to talk to them. Because if you copy paste everything from the scripts, Facebook's going to know. And I'm guilty of this. So I'm telling you guys, we're going to learn and get better from it. And it's better to have the quality relationship, right, than the mass ads. Don't get scared about it. You will get better. And another thing, guys, to remember is like you represent our entire company. Every time you share something, every time you show up, every time you stay consistent. Let's continue to not be the other network marketers out there that are spammy, that are gross, that are just hounding people. Let's be a relationship builder team, okay? Okay, let's see, what else? A few other things about Facebook. We talked about the coding from other sites and bringing your visibility down. You guys know this, but don't ever complain or rant on Facebook or any of your posts, right? We don't want to be those people. And those people are not meant for our tribe. So you can share something you're struggling with, but put a positive spin always on it. Another thing Facebook doesn't like is these specific words like recruit, save, buy one, get one, or the money sign in your posts. I don't think any of you guys would really use those, but just watch your wording that they're not salesy, because Facebook will actually block stuff like that. Stories in every post. Okay, here's the other thing. If you're only sharing photos in every single post, that's not good. We need to mix it up with video and live. Because if you do photo, that's not giving Facebook what it wants. It wants video content. It wants your move of the day. It wants you to go live and speak your truth and be silly with your dogs or your kids or whatever. Just show the real you. And that's what Facebook Live's all about. Like giving people a glimpse into what your life's like and showing them what you can give to them. So if you have 5 photos in a row, you know it's time to go live, or it's time to share a video of something throughout your day. I don't really like boomerang on Facebook. I'm just saying. I don't think it's really that cool. It's more for a short, sweet thing for Instagram. Facebook is more Facebook Live. Cool? Like I said, tag your friends or husband in any of your photos that applies to, or your spouse, so that people on their feed see your photos too on top of your feed as well. So it just adds extra visibility. Okay, let's move to Instagram. You guys ready for something new and fun? Cool. So with Instagram, it's all about the picture, right? It's all about the picture and Insta story. Has anybody, I know Liz has, I know Steph, I know Brie has dabbled. Insta story, Jess, have you tried it? Okay, we're gonna get you on the bandwagon. So Insta story is kind of like Snapchat, but it's on Instagram. And I have been doing a lot of research in this because, like I said, with the election and a lot of the network marketers, a lot of Beachbody coaches are pushing to get on Instagram because it's kind of unlimited when it comes to potential people, especially as we're expanding to the United Kingdom this fall. Like we can start using hashtags that are going to target that specific area, which is super cool. It's about short, effective stories. And so you're going to have to be to the point, and you're going to have to be a scroll stopper. And then you're going to have to get really clear about who you are and who you want to attract. So my first tip is, like Facebook, don't use any Beachbody terms. Don't hashtag it. Don't screenshot it. Don't just, you want, again, it's about the curiosity, guys. Don't put all your goods on the table day one, date one, whatever. You want to hashtag things that are like you, right? So for me, I love Lilly Pulitzer. So I went on Google and I typed in popular Lilly Pulitzer tags or hashtags. But I also did my research and I went and searched those hashtags. If there were people in there that I wanted to actually be friends with, then I would use it. If there wasn't, like I know Liz looked up dog mom and it was all Beachbody coaches. So you don't want to use hashtags that all Beachbody coaches are using because you're only going to attract more Beachbody coaches, and that's not what you guys want. You guys want new challengers and new coaches. So you have to spend a little time doing research on what's going to work for you. And what I do is I make a note in my phone, like in the notes section, and you can have up to 30 hashtags. And there's different perspectives and opinions on this, but I've kind of tried it both ways, and here's what I found. I have a specific group of 30 hashtags for each kind of bucket I described to you guys. So like I have 30 hashtags for sports related posts. I have 30 hashtags for Lilly related posts. I have 30 hashtags for architecture related posts. So I can kind of reach into my different buckets based on who I want to reach. And what hashtags are is it's basically just a search capability on Instagram that it puts your posts with the same dog mom posts that you would be posting with. So you can, the people that are hashtagging the same things as you can search your posts and see them if your Instagram's public, which it should be. So it's a way to kind of attract people like you to you and vice versa so that you can go search people that are like you. Again, this takes some time and effort to figure out what's going to work for you. And if you're just getting comfortable on Facebook, just work that, do what's working for you and try new things there before you kind of expand. It takes time to do this, right? You have to be a CEO and figure out what's going to work for you. But I'm sharing this resource because it's working for me right now. The second big bomb thing I've discovered with Instagram is an app called Grids. And you can download it on your computer. It's called Grids for Instagram. I'll type it in the chat. What this is it's kind of like a big grid of all the Instagram people you follow and their photos in one spot on your computer. So it makes it, again, really easy to be social fast because you have to be liking and commenting on people's posts on Instagram just like you do on Facebook to build that engagement and interaction. So you got to be social if you want people to be social back with you. Do I want you to be on your phone 24/7? No. So it needs to be intentional time with what you're doing and when you're doing it. So that's a super, super bomb resources I would highly suggest. Another thing that Jatana kind of touched on today was when you make a post, you can tag different things in there, like products or stores or places you've been. So you want to tag all of those things. Like I tag Trader Joe's, I tag Lilly Pulitzer, I tag Virginia Tech in those kind of posts. So you can tag them on Instagram and it builds more likability with those things. If you're talking about so we'll get to Insta Story. I'll hold off on that. But make sure you're geotagging like where you are if you're at the park or something, because that's going to bring other people that were at the park into your posts. Companies, all that good stuff. So how do you find people that you want to work with, right? You've got to be in those hashtags searching for people. And when you find people you like, I would suggest keeping a list of those names like you do in Streak. You keep a list of your people you're talking on Facebook. Make a list or a pen and paper of the people you like on Instagram and who you want to follow and who you're reaching out to. You can go like and comment on their like first couple photos that you like, and then I would follow them as well because ideally they follow you back. And the cool thing with Instagram is there's a lot less walls, I would say, built because it's a simple, friendly space. Whereas Facebook, you're maxed at 5,000 friends. A lot of people are getting spammy. Instagram is more of just like a social fun place, which is where we want to be. So searching those hashtags are going to be key for you guys to searching out people you actually like and love and want to be with and want to spend time with. The next way that I've created conversation behind the scenes on Instagram, because they have a messenger capability, is watching people's Insta story and asking them questions and commenting on them. Guys, people who have ignored me for 3 years are answering me on Instagram. It is like the rain is coming down. I'm like, where have you been? But I'm daily building the relationship, saying nothing about Beachbody, saying nothing about an invite, legit just asking questions, complimenting, commenting on what they're doing, and building the relationship up. And you can get through it pretty fast, you know, and then it becomes this, they watch your stuff, and it's this interactive social thing, and it doesn't feel icky. It actually feels really good to feel like they're your friend and they're interested in what you're doing just as much as you're interested in what they're doing. So again, something that takes some time, but here's the deal. If you're going to like and comment on people's Insta story, you better have a bomb Insta story to back it up, right? You can't be absent on your own Insta story, which is like your Snapchat kind of thing. And Jatana really touched on it today, and I went and watched hers. I don't know if any of you guys have, but it is so her. And I was like, dang, I need to be way more intentional on there, because that's where we're going. That's the future. Share the stupid little shit throughout your day. You know, your ceiling's caving in, go video about it and go talk about it. Don't do 10 videos in a row, though, of just your face talking. You want to mix things up and make them different. So again, it's keeping that surprise element, doing things throughout your day. Obviously, we have full-time jobs, so I don't expect you to be on your phone during work, and I know that's a struggle. But at night, share the fun little snippets of your family and then put your phone away. That Insta story, though, is like a sneak peek into what you're doing. A lot of times I will screenshot stuff from our challenge group. You guys can go on and look tonight. I did it. And I'll put an icon over somebody's face and I'll shout them out. Like they shared their awesome bomb results. I'm going to screenshot that and share it on my Insta story, because guess what? It builds my credibility and it shows the bomb accountability group we're doing behind the scenes. So it's kind of like a sneak peek into what we do without being bombarded Beachbody. And it's a sneak peek into your life, like life casting what your life's about. So Bree, if you're on the construction site, like share that shit, you know, like take a picture of your crazy boots with your awesome skinny jeans. That's the stuff that makes you you. And so you want to find people like you. That's what you got to share. But you got to mix up the video and photos on Insta story and get really good about quick, effective, small things. It's fast, it's sweet, it's short. I actually go and add all my Facebook friends from Instagram. Because again, if they're not answering me on Facebook, but they follow me on Instagram, that's an instant, they still want to follow me for a reason. So I'm going to build a relationship on Instagram then. So that's a great way to kind of build your following fast. Some things that are ideas of what you can share on your Insta story is talking to your dog, talking to your baby, doing a dance party like Jatana does a lot, doing your post-workout thoughts, you know, creating some kind of consistent thread that every day you do. Like she was saying that after every day she works out, she gets on and shares like a motivation, and just like it's short and sweet. It teaches you to not ramble. You have to be right to the point, because it's like a 10-second video. I don't know, Liz would know better than me how long it is. But keep it real, keep it raw. And you can also post more regularly on Instagram if you'd like. There's not like a 1 to 2 day limit. But again, you gotta track what you want, and you gotta put time and effort into this. So what I'm telling you guys is, yes, it's a cool resource. It's not to play around though. It's to be fun and be you and be real and raw, but it's for the intention of building your business. So I want you to have that intention behind the scenes of who can I help today by what am I giving? And then when you give 4 or 5 days in a row, then you earn the right to invite. And then you earn the right to show, this is my list. Like Jatana, you have to listen to the National Wake Up Call today, because she went through exactly what she did. But she makes a list and then creates FOMO and says 10 spots next to my group. She does 2 or 3 clips about what you get in your accountability group, what you get in the portion containers, blah, blah, blah. And then she gives a deadline. But she has given for 5 days in a row so much value about herself. So I think the main things behind this, guys, is like we have tools at our fingertips every day to build a 7-figure business. But it's up to you whether you do it or not. And it's really simple, right? I just want you to share you. And I just want you to be authentically you. And sometimes that takes a little bit of time to figure out. I'm still figuring out what I am and who I should be sharing. There is no right or wrong way to do it. But you never know until you try. So that's kind of what I brought for you guys tonight. I would love to hear if you have any other feedback on what's working, not working, social media-wise, or anything that kind of popped out and you loved. Don't all go at once.
So there's a pretty good social media podcast that Chalene Johnson's son does, Brock. And they're like 20 minutes, sometimes less, and he'll do like top 5 best things to go live about, Instagram hacks. So like on Instagram where you can make, put the little words up and stuff. Like I thought you were just limited to the colors that are there, but if you hold the colors down, you can pick your custom color and stuff. So he gives tons of quick hitting feedback on either Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook. So you can kind of scroll through his podcasts and kind of see what's, what social media platform works for you.
Love that, Brie. Thanks for sharing. I think the main thing with Insta Story, though, that I've heard, don't use too many well, this just goes for social media in general. Keep it simple, guys. Don't use tons of stickers and yes and lit and the doggy face voice. Like, nobody can hear your voice when you do the voiceover stuff. Like, just be you and just talk like you. Awesome. Social media money makers. Is that right? Okay. Thanks for sharing, Brie. Liz, did you want to share something?
Sorry, I'm on my phone and I never know how to get off mute on my phone.
You're cool.
I'm technology retarded. So I think Insta Story, like Danielle said, because it's so short, is a really good way for you to practice going Facebook Live. Some days, like I'll do Insta Stories in the morning, and if I feel like I'm being really quick and really articulate, I do Facebook Live. And some days I just can't get it down. Like the first time I did an Insta Story and my husband heard me, I did it like 3 times before I actually did one that I posted. And he was like, "You practice that before you do it?" And I was like, yeah, because sometimes I say nothing. Like, why would I post that? And so it's nice on Insta Story that you can say it and then watch yourself and be like, what did I say? And delete. So I usually do that as like my warm up to Facebook Live. So if you're nervous about Facebook Live, I would start with Insta Story because you can delete it. And it's still like live video. The other thing about Insta Story is you can see who watches it. So it's nice to go through. If they watch mine, usually then I go through and watch theirs. And then like Danielle said, you can comment. So yeah, those are just a couple of things I do.
Yeah, Liz has like totally implemented Instagram probably even more heavily than I have. But I think I was getting to a point where I was almost frustrated with Facebook because it's like I'm 3 years into this. I feel like I should be way better at it. And I still get posts where I delete them because I told Liz this weekend, I was like, I just delete them if they don't get likes like I want it to. Not that likes mean anything, but if it's not speaking to my audience, then I'm just off. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that, right? That's why there's a delete button. What I would encourage you guys not to do is film things 5 times and take 30 minutes to post one story, because that's not efficient with your time, right? There's got to be some element of real, and it's going to be awkward and a little bit, out of your comfort zone the first time you do it, but just be your normal self. Like, let your kids scream in the background. Go look at Ariana. She does live videos with her kids all the time now. And it's almost like they like it because they realize that it's fun and it's something that they get to do together. So I think there's that element of like, just let life happen, even though you're videoing yourself, because it's going to attract you to the right people. What else, guys? Anything else you learned or took away, Steph or Jess?
I'll just comment about the finding people in the hashtag thing. I would say, like, and I think Danielle mentioned this a little bit, but worry about that second. Like, if your posts aren't good, there's no point in having a good hashtag. So I would focus on posts first and make sure you feel like, okay, I'm posting regularly on Instagram. My posts are getting likes from the people who already follow me, and then work on hashtags. And it is worth it, I think, to Danielle's point, like, you can't spend an hour a day on figuring out your social media, but like one Sunday afternoon or whatever time works for you, just set aside some time to like look into it. What posts perform really well? What are the hashtags you're thinking about using? Who else uses them? Like, I couldn't believe when I searched for dog mom, because I've been using that for a while. And I'm like, these hashtags aren't working for me. Like, my posts sometimes do better when I don't do hashtags, like what's going on. And when I searched dog mom, it was all Beachbody coaches, like every single one. I was like, what in the world? But I mean, I've been doing Instagram for a really long time, and I just started doing that. So don't worry about finding the perfect hashtag until you've figured out how to post on there.
So good. Walk before you run.
How to find the perfect hashtag. So I wish I could, if I figure it out in the next couple weeks, I'll let you know.
Well, I think also it's good, like, even if you guys just want a one-on-one call with somebody on the team or with me once a week, to just like say, hey, can we look at my page and you give me some honest feedback on what's working, what's not? I think that's so helpful. And even just from somebody else on this team, because we all can see each other's like potential to do better, right? It's so hard to see it ourselves, like of ourselves. But when somebody else, like, I know Tara says this to me all the time. She's like, how do you see these stories? Like, I don't think about it that way. I'm like, because I'm just outside your head and I see your life from my viewpoint, and why aren't you sharing this? So don't be afraid to ask somebody else on the team, like, hey, can we get together for 10 minutes and you just kind of give me some feedback? Because we're all in this to get better. Any closing thoughts? Is this helpful? You guys get a lot? All right, so the main thing I want you guys to share in the cup page after this call is the one thing you're going to implement and try this week that you learned tonight. All right? And then let's build the momentum for the last 10 days of the month. I believe in you guys. I know there's more people out there that need you. I want you to go share to them tonight and go speak to them. And thank you for being here. I appreciate you all. All right, guys, go rock your week. See ya.